Just
I'm
wing
I'm
it.
I'm recording now, but so
Welcome to the show.
yeah, so we had this special guest that was supposed to come on this week, and it didn't happen because he said Sunday nights are busy for me, and I'm like, dude, every fucking day is busy for me, but that's usually when me and Darian can get together. It's like you know, it's like the rest day. It's like the unofficial rest day, especially if you're like religious, Sabbath day kind of thing.
That's Sabbath is Saturday, dude.
Oh, I mean, I guess if you're a Seventh Day Adventist or you're a Jew, yes. But if you're a Catholic or a Methodist or a Baptist or a Mormon or whatever,
They don't call it Sabbath though, do they? That's just church day.
no, it's called Sabbath. It's in the Ten
Yeah.
Commandments. Sabbath day, keep it holy. And in fact, let me just message him right now. Start chat. I see why you can't get online for a podcast. You could
Too
have
busy playing
just
WoW. He's
said
supporting Blizzard
I
right
was
now during.
playing WoW. Huh?
See, that's the thing. He's supporting Blizzard and their misogyny and all the other isms they do right now. That just makes me think even less of Rad.
Basically, what he told me is I have a lot of stuff going on. Like, you could have just said I raid. And there's
Yeah,
the
I'm
wiki
I'm
page.
boycotting. I'm boycotting Blizzard,
You're boycotting Blizzard. Okay, yeah, fucking, hey, yeah. So let's talk
but
about
not
that.
because of anything that not because of anything they're doing now, just because their games suck now.
So, yeah. Uh, I really wanted to play class or Burning Crusade. I really did. I really did. Tell you what, if I did not have a son, if there was no son, I'd be playing Burning Crusade right now.
I'll admit that that did sound appealing, but yeah,
Hmm. So you didn't would you think of the quote frat boy culture with Blizzard?
whatever.
I had people pretend to be outraged. There was a guy played Call of Duty with him, and in his Discord he's making this big stink, and a couple other people making stinks, and I caught him streaming, and he was playing Diablo 3. He's doing like some speed runs for some ethers or some shit, and I said, dude, what are you doing? I thought you were boycotting Blizzard. Oh, he's like, oh, that was yesterday. So basically, what you're telling me
Oh
is,
yeah, they had like, but it was there was like some quote unquote coordinated, organized, nobody play Blizzard games, whatever.
well, it's only
See, the
because the
thing is,
employees were walking out that day, right?
yeah, like to just show support for the employees. The thing is, the worst way to give the middle finger to Blizzard would be play the shit out of their games, take
Right,
up their servers, use
right.
their servers, and don't buy any of the loot boxes or other garbage.
Well, but there's other games like World of Warcraft has a subscription, so you got to buy the subscription.
Well, yeah, don't play that one then. Play. I mean, if you already got the game
If you already have the game and there's no subscription, then play it.
and
Yeah,
don't buy their loot boxes, like if you already have Overwatch, play it, but don't buy the boxes. If you already have uh, well, I guess anybody can get Heroes of the Storm. I think that one's free, right? So get Heroes of the Storm, download it, play it, and don't buy shit.
yeah, it's pretty much how I look at it. I look at it like in the sense of if you had the Blizzard product before, or if you had the product period, because and you have people that boycott shit and they burn it or they throw it away. It's like, dude, you worked for that money to buy that thing, and I mean the money's already spent. The company doesn't care. So I officially hate LeBron James. I have one, two, three pairs of his sneakers. I'm not gonna throw them away. Them shits weren't expensive. I worked for that money to pay for those sneakers, so I'm just going to wear them till they die, and then I'll throw them away, and I will never buy another pair of sneakers.
Sell them.
They're like lifting shoes, and I actually play basketball in them. You wouldn't get any money for them. Mm. Oh my gosh. But yeah. So frat boy culture, and you're just like, bleh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should harass anybody. I do kind of think they're making a little bit, or the one gal's making a bit of a big deal. I mean, the expert on penetration shirt is intentionally provocative.
Wait, you
Maybe.
actually know what happened? What
What do you
supposedly
mean?
what was alleged? What's a I didn't hear anything. What's allegedly happening? Frat boy culture is a huge generalization. Like, do you know what happened?
Well, I know an incident that basically happened at BlizzCon, and if I did the math right, at a BlizzCon we were at, or I was at anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the job booth, a girl who's into like network security and stuff like that, pen testing, wore a shirt that said um, "expert in penetration,"
Okay.
and maybe that shirt was designed, made for a guy, and whatever.
Sounds like a rogue shirt, bro.
I know, but apparently somebody, or at a Blizzard employee or a couple Blizzard employees were joking about that. Oh, are you good at penetration, or you like being penetrated, or whatever. Um, and I'll say that, yeah, absolutely, that was unacceptable, especially if you're working in a human resources booth. Come on, you fucking know better.
Yeah, you would
Uh,
think.
but I mean, there's a fine line between, like, blaming the victim. Oh, well, if you weren't wearing that mini skirt and tit top, then you wouldn't get raped. But you know,
There has to
if you
be
weren't wearing the mini skirt and tit top, yeah, that you might get catcalled. Doesn't mean it's right, but you know,
yeah, I think like people like you tell them that and they think that you're blaming them and it's like no, I'm not blaming you. It's just like let me put this in a scenario as a dude. So I come out of a bar and I got to walk back to my car and I have two routes. I can walk down this dark shady alley or I can walk to my car. It's going to be a longer walk and it's in a well-lit area. You know what? I'm going to walk down this shady alley and then I get my ass kicked and my wallet took. What are you blaming me for being like? No, nobody's blaming you for being robbed, but there's consequences for every choice you make. Consequences are good, consequences are bad. It's just a result of your action, and you had an opportunity to choose A or B, and you chose to put yourself in more danger. Is anybody saying that like this particular thing is your fault? No, someone chose to rob you. Somebody chose to cack, but if you don't subject yourself to you don't provide more what do you call that extra externalities, you know what I mean, if you don't provide that, then if you're just wearing regular clothing, regular moderate casual wear, like somebody's less likely to fucking be rude to you and make you feel uncomfortable, if I put a t-shirt on and I wear jeans and I go to the store, then I don't have old ladies complimenting me on my body features. So if I happen to go to the store like this and people say things, because it happens, just like whatever, man. Does that am I wrong for thinking that?
well, no, I mean, and well, depends on who you're asking.
I'm asking you. I need your affirmation, sir.
No, I mean, I think that's a pretty logical way to approach it. Um, Getting catcalled or whatever doesn't necessarily make it okay to do the catcalling or leering or whatever. But when you present yourself to the world in a particular way, um, it is what it is. Now, again, the situation with the girl who was applying it, or not even applying, I guess she was just going up to find out more information. Uh, it's First of all, the guys working the human resources booth or whatever, the job booth, they really should fucking know better. That's it's not cool. Um, I've known, or I know several people that have worked at Blizzard, and a couple of them have left because of just that type of, not I don't want to go into any details because it's not my story to tell. But
Well, you didn't name anybody. Blizzard's a pretty
no,
big company.
I know, I know, but still, it's they. So I don't want to put words in their mouth anyway by rephrasing what they've relayed to me. So third hand information. Um, they have had expressed that they didn't particularly care for the company culture either, um, and so on.
But you know what's
But
funny? Okay, okay. Why is it called frat boy culture?
because they all watch
Like none of those
fuck,
people that work at Blizzard are fucking.
Revenge of the Nerds and stuff like
Nobody
that
that
movies.
works at Blizzard. Dude, I would bet my house on it. You would be hard pressed to find a frat boy, your typical frat boy at Blizzard. That is typist right there, sir. Like, how dare you accuse this culture that is culminating in your fucking company of being frat boy culture? I take offense to that, not because I'm a frat boy, but because I'm an equal opportunity asshole, and that's wrong. Okay.
Well, that's part of society today. Also, you had all the geeks and nerds and whatnots who were picked on and mocked are now growing up and getting careers in coding and things like that. And you give someone who's oppressed any taste of power, and they'll abuse it. Um, so I think that's part of it, and it's just I don't think it's appropriate either for them to write it off as boys being boys or whatever the fuck. Um, I think people need to be accountable for their actions. And from what I understand, the main offender was dealt with last year. So I don't know. I don't know anything about the California lawsuit. I know that California is suing him, and that's what prompted the employee walkout and all that stuff. Um, I've got acquaintances, who didn't work for Blizzard but worked closely with them, who have, mentioned their experiences with being harassed. Attractive women,
Mm-hmm.
uh, cosplayer types, and whatnot. I have personally never seen any of that myself, um, but I don't see anything and everything. And I wasn't one of the really cool kids either, so I didn't. It's not like I had any real inside with them. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't play Blizzard games anyway. Their games suck.
They do now, yeah.
They've sucked for years, man.
Yes, but I mean, they didn't always suck. That's my point. Like, they used to make good games. Um,
Fuck yeah, Lost Vikings, man. That game kicked ass.
what was I gonna say? Okay, so anyway, so I'm pissed off that they call it frat boy culture because we all know that everybody that fucking works at Blizzard is a goddamn liberal. Everybody that works at fucking Blizzard is a fucking liberal. Something else I wanted to touch base was somebody
Hey,
asked,
dude, liberals go to college too and
man,
are in frats too. But let me ask you a question.
what's up?
One thing I am curious about in World of Warcraft, did you play Classic?
No, I clowned
Not
on
at all.
I clowned on people that play classic, and then the dude bought me Burning Crusade, and then I became what I made fun of. Why?
Well, I was curious. Well, I remember one of the things I enjoyed was like collecting ears. And when you're in PvP, you get a drop like Night Elf ear and stuff like that, or
Mm-hmm.
Elf ear. And I was just curious that they brought that back in Classic.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we should get Rad in here to answer that question.
Ah,
I
he's a bitch.
I logged
He's
in,
played.
I messaged him, and then I fucking logged out because I didn't need like all the dialogue going on while we're doing this. But hey, man, are you? He's like, so what are you guys talking about? This is how the conversation went. What are you guys talking about this weekend? I said, well, it was supposed to be your interview. You said, yeah, next weekend I should be good. This is his quote. I should be good. I got to get, because they just bought a house like 3 weeks ago or something. I was like, yeah, understandable. All right. He's like, well, I just have a lot of stuff going on Sundays. I was like, what? Like you do realize that we start about, what is it? We start at 8, which means he's East Coast. So we start at 10 o'clock your time. It's like, what do you have going on at 10 o'clock at night? You know, is oh, I just got a lot of stuff going on. Monday would probably be better. I said, but you're off Mondays. This is what I said. I said, you're off Mondays. Wouldn't it be better to do something Sunday night? Like, you always ask me to play Call of Duty with you on Sunday nights after the podcast. And he does. And most of the time, I can't oblige because I have responsibilities. And I asked him, I said, let's do it. And he's like, I got a lot of stuff to do. He's like, Sunday nights are probably, and I'm like, well,
You know what? I know what it is. He's bitching out because he feels new metal is really metal.
I didn't say new metal wasn't metal, sir. That's okay.
I said new metal's not metal. I said Slipknot is not fucking metal.
It is metal.
It is not fucking metal. It is hard rock. And a
Uh,
classification called new metal, which is not fucking metal.
Okay, dude. All right, dude. I'm just gonna say this: you're showing your age. You are antiquated and you are almost irrelevant. So you got to realize, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry that you love Slayer. I'm sorry you think fucking Metallica. I'm sorry that every band you grew up with, nothing sounds like that anymore. But shit changes. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. And if you want to live in
No,
that,
there's a lot of good metal out today.
what's good metal?
Behemoth is a start.
Mm-hmm. So if I listen to
Really,
Behemoth, I'm not going to hear any like subtle undertones of like Slipknot.
No.
Okay. I'll check them out. In fact, I'm just going to type them up here in the search bar. There we go. All right.
You should talk to my wife though. I don't listen to I don't listen to metal that much anymore anyway.
So you're not even a fucking expert. Exactly.
What? I don't listen to metal that much anymore because it makes me hostile. And I am realizing a lot of the things garbage in, garbage out. And when I listen to bands like and okay, I take that, on occasion there's a need where I'm like have this pent up rage I need to get out, so I'll put on some Slayer or whatever. But yeah, that's it.
I want you to listen to yourself. I don't listen to metal because it makes me hostile. You realize how many other fucking things you do in your life that make you hostile that you just don't cut out of your life?
Oh, absolutely. But music affects me differently. Music kind of bypasses all the different filters and just, well, for lack of a better term, hits me right, hits me through the third eye. And
there you go.
so,
There you go, talking like a fucking weird ass Tool person. Like there's a fucking third eye. Like there's a synapse of nerves here, and this is what I need you to do when you get better.
here, let me rephrase. It touches me on a quantum level. Music does, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of music. It could be fucking Jesus music or
But you don't listen to
Slayer.
Jesus music, so how would you know that it touches you?
I have listened to.
When was the last time you listened to?
I'm saying music affects me that way.
All right, so
it doesn't matter the genre.
So does Jesus music make you hostile?
Jesus music annoys me. Actually, let me take it back. It depends on the Jesus music. Some classic hymns I actually are very calming.
So is there any Jesus music that hits you like metal does?
That makes no.
So you're either calmed or annoyed, is what you're telling me.
Pretty much.
Okay, so what I need you to do, since you have all these other vices that put you on that same vibe as metal, I need you to start listening to more Jesus music that helps you come down. Come down. Meet me here, dude. I understand. I understand you're like almost 60. Not really.
Yeah.
I understand you're almost 60, so like your agitation level, you're already every day you wake up, you're here. I'm almost 40, so I'm not quite there, but one day I'll be level 62, and I'll be there with you. But I just need you to wake up in the morning while you're brushing your teeth, just listen to like Battle Hymn of the Republic or something. Or
honestly, though, that's one of the reasons I stopped listening to podcasts, is because it really. And granted, it's the podcasts I chose to listen to, but in general, they're, well, not stuff I want to dwell on. So I just stopped listening to them.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I can say that. There's a couple, but I think
so let's shoot ourselves in the foot. Stop listening to podcasts. Listen to music.
listen to
Fucking
listen to good Jesus music, the old hymns. Mine eyes have seen the forecoming glory of the Lord. Blah blah
that's
blah.
not Jesus music, is it? Well, I guess
Yeah, it
kind of
is.
is.
His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Yeah, it is.
No, I'm talking. So I don't even know the names of them. Some of the like the older.
Amazing
uh
Grace.
no, like the Old Testament type hymns.
Oh well,
But
I mean, yeah, you got me beat, dude. That's probably some Seventh Day Adventist shit. I,
no,
I know
no,
Jehovah's
it's just
Witnesses sing some old shit. I know Catholics sing some old shit. But remember, like the most church I ever went to, I was in a Mormon church. They don't sing a lot of old shit. They sing some old shit, you know. But going back to the Blizzard thing, because I just wanted to, I just wanted to get mad because everybody that works at Blizzard is a flaming liberal, and they have the nerve to call this culture frat boy culture. And liberals, frat boys cannot be liberals, and liberals cannot be frat boys. Like those are everything I've said is true. So
that's a pretty big generalization there, sir, and I disagree.
show me a liberal frat boy.
First of all, if you take a look at it, where are the frats at?
They're at college. That's what's your point?
Okay, and what are colleges cesspools
Oh
of?
my god, dude. You know what? If I go to college, does that make me a liberal? Would I? Am I a liberal? First of all, so if I go to college, do I just magically turn into a liberal?
You are subjected to liberal indoctrination.
Do you think it? I mean, dude, these guys are just trying to fucking get laid. Do you think they're really paying attention to the like frat boys? Generally speaking, drop out of college after 2 years. Yes.
I
So,
won't make any
yeah.
generalizations.
At any rate, so I just find it funny they call it frat boy culture. You know, but if you called something like black culture, like your dad leaving the household when you're a kid, your mom not raising you and not giving a damn, having all these kids out of wedlock, not graduating high school, getting into crime and gangs. If you call that black culture, you get in trouble. But fucking hitting on girls at work or playing gay chicken and touchy ass at work, that's frat boy culture.
No, I think the frat boy culture is like the drinking parties and stuff like that.
Well, what I heard
Um,
is it was sexual harassment, right? Was it sexual? Was it more than sexual? Was somebody assaulted? Was somebody sexually assaulted?
I don't like I said I don't know I just know some overarching information.
Mm-hmm. Well, something else I wanted to clear up is I wanted so that guy I told you that he was just like, oh, I boycotted for a day. There's another guy, mutual friend. He was like, why are you playing Call of Duty? And I was like, because I don't have anything else to do. And he's like, well, you're not mad at Blizzard? And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? He's like, well, Blizzard and Activision are the same company. I'm like, yes, they are, but they're not, because they're not. Like they merged, but they didn't merge. Like Blizzard still has,
They didn't merge. Blizzard got bought.
well, yeah, but Blizzard still has a huge stake. Like it's not like Activision bought out Blizzard and Activision solely makes all the enterprise decisions for Blizzard. Blizzard has a huge amount of say in what they do. I need to mute my phone. You could almost think of Blizzard and Activision as two different studios. Blizzard makes LARPing games, and
Well, they are
Activision.
two different studios.
I mean, they are, and Activision just makes action games. So whatever the fuck is going on at Blizzard, that doesn't mean Activision's condoning it. It doesn't mean it's happening in their house. It just happens to be a company they own, and that company
Yeah,
is
they trade under the same ticker, and that's the point they're trying to.
that's the only. Well, that's sure, but I don't even play the stocks. If I had stock, would you think that guy would have been like, "Why didn't you sell your stock?" You see what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of with you. Like, but at the same time, if you're gonna boycott more than a day. Don't boycott and then get on and farm ETH rules. Like it's kind of some weak boycotting, I guess. Yeah,
It wasn't a boycott. It was supposed to be like a whatever.
but
I guess like a 1 day boycott.
but
Just like the whole like nobody shop on Amazon for on whatever day to show support for the workers who want unions. It,
hey,
it's 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 performance activism, dude.
mm, I like
performance art
I like to see
activism.
kids these days live in the '60s and actually have to boycott fucking shit. Like, that bus is my only means of conveyance from getting to work from A to B. So now I have to fucking ride a bicycle because I'm boycotting the bus because they're fucking racist. You know? And those motherfuckers did that for months. Months to make a point. We're going to boycott for a day. That's a good boycott, everybody. We didn't play Blizzard games for 24 hours. We showed them. We showed them real good. And then we're jacked right back in the game. To me, that's almost pointless. Hey, we could boycott if we wanted to, but we're going to stop at 24 hours. Because we're like, no. Like, if you really, if that really, and this goes to like what you've said earlier, it's those people feigning, what is that, not the moral superiority. What's that fucking phrase you use? Virtue signaling. It's just virtue signaling. Like, oh, we feel for those employees. Do you? Were you the one hit on? Were you over there? Is that going on? Like, if you really felt for them and you own Blizzard products, then just don't play them for a long time. Like, everybody just stop playing Blizzard games, right? Stop playing them. Cancel your subscription. Didn't a bunch of people cancel WoW subscriptions for some reason? Was it
It
because?
was when the guy, what was it, Hearthstone, I think.
Oh, the guy, yeah, the
Like the
Taiwanese
free,
guy, the
yeah, the free Hong Kong
free Hong
thing, and
Kong, yeah, 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 that shit. And you know what happened? They ended up giving that guy his winnings back and some other shit. Because a lot of people like that's what you do. Fucking boycott for 24 hours. Good job, everybody. Log back in. We pushed raid.
well, yeah, but and the thing is that that kind of boycotting. I mean, I didn't play Blizzard games anyway. Is I don't know. Yeah, never mind. I really don't care about Blizzard. Fuck
I
them
don't.
as
I
a
don't.
company anyway.
I don't either. I'm so done with
None of
them.
my friends work there anymore, so I give no fucks about the company anymore.
Yeah, and I don't have enough friends that play, and I have too many responsibilities to lose sleep over it. Well, I'm glad we just jumped right into that topic. I forgot to ask you how you were doing, but then again, I don't care. Fuck you. I hope you're dead next week. Seriously though, how are you doing?
I'm officially as of this last week, I am officially in the chronic pain stage. So,
Chronic pain stage. Okay.
so it's now officially chronic pain.
Are you still PTing?
Yep.
Mm, okay. PTing.
But it's to the point that there's nothing can be fixed. They gave some suggestions of things to try, dry needling, which I think I mentioned that before, which is like acupuncture, but not Chinese medicine. It's the stuff that insurance companies will cover. Um,
So they'll cover someone sticking you with needles, but they won't cover that pain medicine that you were looking at.
it's yeah. Well, my physical therapist does the needling, so they cover physical therapy.
Okay. That's just
Um,
weird. Wouldn't that doesn't that shit
they
cost?
and they and they will cover it. It's just a fight. It's a matter of because it's like I found it's like 5 times as expensive as the one that they want me to take,
Is it a
and
generic version? Is it the same chemical
they don't have
compound?
a generic version.
Mm. Mm.
The one they want me to take is a generic version, but well, like I said, it literally retards my brain,
Mm-hmm.
and I will, and and it being a neuroinhibitor, it also inhibits my inhibitions. I tend to uh, what's the safe way of putting this? I tend to react with less thought. So I am
So less thought than normal.
quicker quicker to anger,
I was
and
just saying, and you get more agitated. You know what? Have you tried this medication before? I almost think there's probably a couple podcasts that we've done that you actually were on this shit. No.
I know there were.
Mm. I
um
like we wrap up the podcast, and I was like, man, great podcast, very fiery debate, and you're like, yeah, man, I gotta go, blah blah blah, and I'm like, dude, he got so angry so fast. Maybe that's just almost being level 60. It was the meds. Okay.
But the new drugs supposedly don't do that, and they don't make me dumb. And well, so we'll see. But it's just a matter of going through the motions with the insurance company, and if I have to, going appealing to the California Board of Insurance or something stupid, and
Mm.
um, so yeah, whatever.
California Board of Insurance. Yeah, that sounds like a very good good board to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like
Here's the thing. I'll just start taking the other medication and then go see them in person and see if they want to deal with me.
no, 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 no.
See, this is what this fucking drug does to me.
What? Oh, oh, oh. Okay, I see you. I was like, I thought you had another tangent, like another I was like, what? What did it do now? What did it do? Um, but no, like, so do you think that board actually serves a purpose? Is it a good board to have?
I have no fucking idea.
You have no idea.
I doubt it.
Hmm. Yeah. Wait. But you're in Idaho now.
Yep. Employers in California. So,
Oh, really?
mm-hmm. It's a California-based insurance company.
Oh.
I also
Oh.
have to go through a lot of hoops to get the opiates and stuff too. They've got to do like a pre-op every fucking week, um, because of the California laws.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, my doctor is cool and thinks that's stupid, and you know writes words to prescriptions in ways that like, okay, so I only get this, a prescription for 1 week's worth of medication, but that medication will actually last me a month or two.
Right. Mm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so how's the PT though? The actual training the muscles and getting out of atrophy, getting out of an
That
atrophied
is
state.
one good thing that I got this last week was that I no longer have to stay spine neutral. So with exercising and whatnot, the healing is done. So like doing sit-ups isn't going to break my back now. Um, so, but it's kind of at the point where it's just, the healthiness is there. It's just make the fucking pain go away. That's all I'm at now. I just want the pain to go away.
Well, I will tell you, dude. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how your pain is, but I could just tell you as I get older and the less sleep I get and the more wear and tear I put on my body, I don't think the pain ever goes away. And there's people out there that probably have way more pain than I do. It's just you learn to deal with it better.
This is different,
No,
dude.
I understand, dude. I
This
understand.
is
I understand. I'm just saying, some people learn to live with it, and so this pain may never go away. I understand it's not a muscular pain; it's probably intestinal and all that other shit. I'm just
no,
saying.
it is nerve pain down my leg.
Mm-hmm.
It really drives me crazy. It gets to the point where you go mad. I mean, people committed I'm not suicidal, but people have committed suicide over prolonged periods of dealing with pain like this. And I previously I thought, man, why would you do that? I understand that shit now
Mm.
because it really it really works over your brain, man. Just being in that constant state of pain. So I'm hoping that the insurance company will hurry up and get their shit together and scripts will go through. But until then, just eat opiates like candy or whatever the fuck.
How's your diet coming along, dude? Not to get too intrusive, but we did talk about that like a few weeks ago.
I don't do the counting and stuff anymore. I do just pretty much just pay attention to portion control and oh, I'm not going to eat that candy bar. Um, just eating fresher foods and stuff like that, and yeah. But if I kept doing the portion control thing, I mean, I don't want to be one of those people
Dude, it's yeah. I mean,
who are counting calories with everything and like, okay, well, what's this? And okay, this has this,
let me ask
yeah,
you:
no.
don't you eat like the same shit? Just about like 70. Does your diet consist of like 70 to 80% of the same thing? Like you have a taste, right? You have something that you eat consistently, don't you? You said you eat chicken, or at least you started eating chicken. Do you eat eggs?
When we get some,
Do you do cheese? Do you do milk? I mean, like, do you
don't
eat?
do milk. Um, I actually alert to milk, not just lactose intolerant, but which I actually am developing, I think. But if I eat too much dairy products, I'll get stuffy. Or if I eat dairy products at all, I'll get stuffy. And if I eat too much, then I'll break out in hives, and so I
I was
kind of
just,
tend to
I
stay away from dairy.
most people tend to eat. Most people. I mean, you do have people that they're chefs, or maybe they just have a lot of money, so they just eat different places all the time. But most people tend to have like the same diet. You know, they regularly eat pork, or they regularly eat chicken or beef, or and there's like a staple. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And I was just saying it's not that hard if a majority of your diet's the same thing. Then you just, as you said, portion control. You're eating the same shit every day, and at least now, you know, 75% of the time, meaning almost 6 days out of the week, you're eating the same shit and you're portioning controlling, and you don't have to count the calories really because you already know how many calories your typical breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks will. Like if you're eating nuts or eating yogurts or whatever you're eating for snacks. But I mean, I'm glad that you kind of found. Are you in lose mode? Are you in maintain mode? Like you're not gaining any more weight, right?
No, I'm still losing weight.
Are you still
It's
losing weight?
just I'm not worrying about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is really what it is.
Trust me, I don't worry about it either. Like I'm kind of like in like a maintain most of the time, and then maybe a little calorie deficit, and every now and then I'll have like a calorie spike. Like 2 days ago, I think I went about 800 calories over, but then I just went back to eating normal. And that was a night I was gaming. Like the woman by the way, took off to San Antonio to go visit the families. So I think she's over there with my dad right now. Speaking of which, like my dad, she takes a picture of my son with his grandpa, and he has a shirt that says "fuck society" on it, and it's got like the anonymous guy, like the anonymous mask on it, right?
Guy Fox.
What's that?
Guy Fox.
Something like that. Yeah, is that what it's called? Guy Fox, the little mask with the yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I said, dude, you need to tell him to change his shirt. And I'm not trying to tell an old man what to do, right? But at the same time, it is like you do realize there is another side of the family, and I would like to share pictures of my side of the family with her side of the family, and I can't do that because you wear shit like that. Like, how hard is it to put on a fucking regular shirt, take a picture, take it off, put on your Fuck Society shirt or whatever, and then later on, when my son is old enough, I have to explain to him what kind of person his granddad is. But
Nah.
But anyway, she's gone, so I binged on Call of Duty for like 12 hours. Like I live streamed Call of Duty, and then the funny part is, I finished watching like some shit on YouTube, and I just fucking passed out on my gaming chair, still live streaming, and then I fell onto the floor and went to. So I woke up like 4 hours later, realized I was still streaming, and Rad was like, "Hey, welcome back," and I was like, "Oh, hey, well, thanks for watching. I'm going back to bed." End stream. That shit was hilarious. Hmm. But yeah, I was getting out.
That's one thing though that this whole mess is kind of done is probably going to stop gaming for the most part
Why is that?
because I haven't been able to game for any period of time for quite a while. So
Dude, your homegirl was gaming yesterday, by the way. She was
she's
streaming.
gaming right now.
No, she was
Oh, oh, oh,
she was streaming. Pineapple. That's your homegirl, right? Like
yeah.
comrade, friend. Yeah. Yeah, she was online I saw the notification, but I was already about to get hot and heavy in some Warzone, so I really couldn't be bothered to watch her. But but yeah, dude, this is what I think. I think once you get back into the swing of things, I don't know how long it's gonna be. I think I think you'll return to normal. I think the only thing I would play your games, because that's people say that shit is so unhealthy. I guess if you play for 12 hours in a shot, that
Shit.
what?
Just realized I'm gonna turn that on.
Yeah, you know what? Just put up Guy Fox on there. Just do it. Do you have a Guy Fox template?
I'm sure I could put one up in a second.
But dude, I think gaming is pretty healthy. I think it is. I think it's a good. Now, gaming for 12 hours a day probably not healthy, but like 2 or 3 hours, dude, you're in the confines of your home. You're socializing with your buddies. Some of the games require teamwork. And granted, it's not like going outside and I don't know, burning calories somehow, but it sure as hell is cheaper than going to the bar. Like how did people do it back then? Like, all right, Darian, we'll see you at the bar, bro. That kind of thing. At least in this situation, where team building, we're talking about our day, you know, pretty laid back, pretty chill. I don't know. I think gaming's a good thing. I don't buy into all that gaming rots your brain, and I I would lean more towards like television rots your brain because you don't even have to think really, not unless you're watching like something that provokes thought, like a mystery or sci-fi or something like really deep. But when you're playing a video game, puzzle games, shooter games, even World of Warcraft with raiding, to some extent there is some cognitive thinking processes that have to go on for you to succeed in the game you're playing, or just have a good time, do very well. But I think you'll be good, dude. I think you'll go back to gaming. I wouldn't say it like you're done gaming, unless you're like taking a political stance.
No, it's not a political stance. It's just I'm kind of bored with it. I'm not gaming now. There you go.
Thank you, thank you, sir.
But if I'm not playing, the addiction's been broken. So if I'm not playing actively,
Hmm.
though I have been watching my wife play Fallout 4, and I've kind of missed that.
She doesn't play 76.
No, I played 76 for a while, but that was terrible. In fact, it pretty closely ruined the franchise for me.
Hmm. I hear that a lot. I haven't played any Fallout.
Good series.
It's, I know it's a good
But
series. It's like a it's like a role playing game slash, I don't know. It's like a first person role playing game, right?
open world RPG, yeah.
Open world. Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
I'm
So,
fucking tired.
man,
The
well,
Olympics have been really wiping me out, though.
dude, what do you mean? You mean just fencing, right?
Yeah, but the medal bouts are all at like 2:30 in the fucking morning.
Mm. So you ended up watching them.
Try to.
Mm.
Usually fall asleep. I'll see like the bronze bout and then maybe make it through the bronze bout.
The Olympics is pretty interesting this year, right? So you had like the Russians who were banned from competing, but they sent their athletes anyway, and they sent.
The yeah, Russian Olympic Committee was allowed because, and I've got mixed feelings on that. I mean, I understand the complaint people have about that, but you know, the athletes who didn't fuck up, why punish them? You know?
Hmm. So what's going to happen with the medals? Is the Olympic Committee just going to hold on to the medals and just say,
No, the athletes get them. Russia doesn't get like the money or whatever for
Oh, so they don't get
stuff
compensation.
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, they don't play the Russian anthem. They don't play, or they don't have any Russian flags on their uniforms or whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, it is
So,
what it is.
so basically, you got these three superpowers: Russia, U.S., and China is taking it to U.S. Man, it's taking it to us.
And
Like,
what, they've only got like four more golds than we do, but we've still got
no, they were
a
tied.
higher medal count.
I checked. I checked. Well, I checked before I went to bed at like 7 in the morning, whenever the hell I went to bed. And in fact, we can check right now. I mean, the fact that China is even up there. Okay, well, as of now, USA has 59 and China has 51. But
Really? Mine says 60 to 51.
does it? Well, whatever. 60 to 51.
We're four behind them in golds.
But that should speak volumes. Like if anybody was wondering where China was versus where China is versus where it was, like that should show you a small, what do you call that? Gosh, man, I am at a loss for words right now. This is what happens when I stream or podcast right after getting out of the gym. All the blood is not in my head, but um, when you take a small bit of information and you make a huge generalization versus when you take a large group of information and you make a small generalization. I want to say inferencing, like it's an inference. Is that what it is? But if anybody wondered where China was on the world stage, here you go. Like, because I'm sure you could go Summer Olympics and Winter Olympics from now back to forever, and China was nowhere this close, bout for bout. But they got some fucking athletes, man. Yeah, whether you want to admit it or not. It says China's got 24 gold, USA's got 20, Japan's got 17, USA's got 23 silver, China's got 14, USA has 16 bronze. 16 bronze, excuse me. And China's not in the top 3 in bronze.
We got 13.
Mm-hmm. It goes USA, Italy, Australia. But yeah.
One thing I have a theory, and this is just purely a theory. Um, but I've noticed that the American fencers didn't seem to be doing so well, or as well as they have in other years.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I think a big part of that is other countries were like, yeah, fuck this shit, and kept practicing.
Oh, COVID.
Whereas US, shut down, and the one gal who won a medal, the US only got two medals
Mm-hmm. It was
um
a silver and a bronze,
in
right?
fencing, gold and bronze.
Gold and bronze. Okay.
Um, but the gal who won the gold, that's Lee Kiefer, her husband is on the team that won
He
the
was,
bronze.
yes.
Um, and he also is number two in the world, I think the top fencer in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to practice together, and they had their own strip set up. I think they set up a strip where they were quarantining at her mom's or something. I don't remember. I read some article about it just several days ago though.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to practice together. So she had, a world class
A
fencer
world
to
class.
practice against.
Yes, yes. That's great. That's awesome. It's beautiful.
Um, the other top performer on the men's bronze team, his father is the coach for the fencing coach for the national team. So, and they have their own clubs and stuff. So they had ample opportunity to keep training and practicing and whatnot. And I've noticed that the other fencers that I watched seem to be off the game. So I think that my theory is that definitely played a part in it.
Mm.
Is that the other athletes were like, fuck this, and kept training, whereas the US just kind of shut down. And I remember um, seeing one of the Olympians from Rio posting about needing to train but not being able to. You know, all the clubs are shut down. They can't train. They can't train, and so yeah, that was that's my theory on it. Is as to why it did is it you know we don't have or we didn't do as well in fencing.
I watched the men's basketball team get spanked by France, and I watched from the second quarter to the end of the game. And was I happy? No, I wasn't happy to watch the like. I'm never happy to watch my country fail, but sometimes I feel, I mean, failure is the ultimate teacher, and I feel like, well, if we fail, then hopefully we learn as to why we failed. And I felt, as disinterested as I am in basketball, I still know a little bit of things, and I keep, but like the whole NBA and the COVID protocol and the shortened schedule, and you had these people. Basically, you had a short schedule, and then they played in the Magic Kingdom bubble, right? Like all the teams are there, and they're just playing games, 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 games. So there's not as big of a rest period because they're trying to make up for lost time. And then you also have like the focal point of basketball, which is activism, not Activision, but activism. It's just like, no, like the focus of sports should be sports, because you may be a commie and I may be a conservative, and you may be a liberal and you may be a libertarian, but at least we all like baseball, or we all like football, or we all like all that bullshit. Like, I don't need to see the jerseys with Trayvon Martin's name on the back, or some other guy that got shot, or whatever. Just shut up and dribble. I think it was it Laura Ingraham? Who was it? It was that Fox lady came out with that thing that LeBron just needs to shut up and dribble, and then that was a controversy. And I'm like, well, she's not wrong. LeBron James knows nothing about politics. Like, he couldn't even tell you how the U.S. monetary system works. He couldn't tell you anything about the Federal Reserve. He couldn't tell you anything about internment camps. He couldn't tell you anything about our involvement in the Spanish American. Like, what does this guy know about anything besides, how to dunk from the free throw line? What does he know? Oh, I'm a well-educated mind. Like, oh, okay, all right, dude. But I feel like we focus too much on activism when it comes to sports, and we didn't play sports for a long time, and then we rushed everybody through, and so there were a lot of injuries. And I also know that these countries that aren't going through this drastic liberal bullshit we're going through, it is like, we even have U.S. players, right? NBA players that are from other countries, or from France or Slavias, and they go home to represent their teams. Whereas when our A caliber, our triple A caliber players get invited to go to the team, they take a pass. And yeah, some of it could be health reasons. Could be like, yeah. But we don't have our top tier talent out there competing. We don't. LeBron James isn't out there. Steph Curry's not out there. I mean, we have some good players out there. Kevin Durant's pretty good. But he's been injured. He's been continuously injured. And Draymond Green's out there. He's all right player, but everybody on the France team is France's best, and they are happy to represent France. Same
You
with
know what bugs me though is the Olympics were supposed to be about amateur athletes, not pro sports. So I've never really liked the idea of NBA players in the Olympics. I mean, even the Dream Team, which, yes, I'll admit that was fucking amazing watching that shit.
mm-hmm,
But and I had the McDonald's cups and shit from that.
mm-hmm.
But still, it feel to me it feels wrong. It feels like it's against the spirit of the Olympic Games.
But
And
everybody
I'll
on.
be honest,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll just this whole week has been kind of a nostalgic awakening for me in realizing that I always enjoyed I mean, as a little fucking kid, I enjoyed the Olympics and always dreamed of that and aspired, to be an Olympian. And it was, like I said, Bruce Jenner was my hero growing up. And um, my mom probably threw out a, $10,000 Wheaties box at some point. But it has changed. It's turned, it's been infected by the whole wokeness movement. It's not about sports. It's about, you know, making statements and stuff. And that's disappointing to me. But you know, the whole I'm starting to digress, but the whole point is it to me it feels like pro athletes competing in that is taking away from the spirit,
But
you know.
you know why that happened though, right? Like we were the only ones that were really going by the pro athlete. Like all the other countries have their sports leagues, and what they classify as a professional athlete is different than what we classify. Like example, you have college kids, right? And prior to this year, college kids couldn't get donations, they couldn't get sponsorships, they couldn't get a paycheck, right? Because that would make them professional athletes. So basically, if you're getting paid in any manner to play a sport, you're a professional. But that's in our country. But you go to these other countries, and their basketball teams are professionals, but not by their standard, not France's standard, not England's standard, or United Kingdom's. So those countries were sending pros, and we were sending college kids, and we were getting dunked on by pros. So we sent our pros because their definition of professionals and our definition of professionals were different. And so I agree with you. Like
It doesn't matter why it happened. What matters is I don't feel that's right. If somebody is paid to play basketball
okay,
and train for basketball
okay,
all day, every day,
right.
you know, it shouldn't be them. It should be the fucking college kids going in there, you know, going there to show off what
Showcase,
they
yeah,
can do.
I agree.
You know,
But
and it's like fucking boxing, you know.
well, Floyd Mayweather boxed Olympic, and he's a professional, and he was a professional. So we,
That's what I'm saying.
but what I'm saying is you got to get everybody else on board. Like you can't hold the U.S. to a standard you're not going to hold everybody else to. You know, that's like okay, well we're gonna curb our
Why
climate.
can't I hold I hold myself to standards,
I mean,
higher standards than what
you
other
do,
people
but
do.
you might as well just, in some cases, I mean, each individual case of those standards varies, but when you're talking about Olympic competition, you're talking about you're going to send 22-year-old kids that have been playing basketball since, you know, since they were kids.
What does Olympics mean if it isn't about the honor of the game?
No, no, no. But what,
If you go out there and lose, but you played with honor,
sure,
then that's what matters.
but so what you're telling me is for the sake of,
Dude, didn't you fucking watch Cool Running?
oh my gosh, just listen. All I'm saying is you have these kids and you're going to send them to the slaughter. They're going to get destroyed because there's other people that are in other countries that don't use the same term as professional. You know, there's usually like in some of those countries to be a professional at a sport, there's like a cap on the money or where the money comes from. So it's like example to be a professional, and this is an example that I can't back up, but this is an example that I do know exists somewhere. To be a professional fencer in the U.S., you just got to get paid to play your sport. It doesn't matter if you're actually getting paid to give lessons and fencing and winning tournaments. It doesn't matter if fucking Adidas is sponsoring your tennis shoes that you're wearing while fencing. You're a professional athlete. Now you go to France or something, and they may have a rule where you can take endorsements and not be a professional. You feel me? Like that's what I'm saying. So you're gonna have these people that have been playing basketball longer and they're bigger and they're stronger and you know what, you're just, yes, for the honor of your country, absolutely correct. But like, why even send people if they're not gonna win? Like, why would you waste that money training them? Why would you waste that money putting them up in hotels? And because they're not gonna win, and your country's not gonna get reimbursed for any of that because you're not getting any money because you're not winning. I don't know. Like, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like, well, as far as standards go, it's an Olympic thing, it's a world thing. That standard needs to be universal. And we were kneecapping ourselves by just sending college kids out there. Like, sure, for a long time that was all you needed, but then everybody else started like falling in love with other sports and they took it more seriously. Because it used to be just like, you know, just everybody get together, drink some beers and throw some fucking shot put. But some people devote their whole life to a craft, and that craft happens to be a sport, and that sport happens to be something that can be lucrative if you're very good. If you make that less than 0.001%, and you can make shoe deals, you can make Wheaties deals, and all you got to do is just follow your passion and hone your profession. That's what they do in other countries, and they send their pros. And meanwhile, we're over here like, well, we're not sending professionals because we're the United States. Okay, we'll get shit on, and that's what we
Yeah,
send.
but you
Hmm?
so fucking compete with honor, man.
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I hear you, but I don't know. I want my country to succeed. I want my country to be the best. Do I want to rub it in people's faces? Like, no, not like that. But I mean, dude, the Olympics is as useless as the fucking Super Bowl, as the World Series, as every other fucking championship, right? It is. Like, okay, your city won a championship. What did that do for you? Did you get a pay increase? Did you move into a better house? You know what I mean? Like, it didn't affect you whether they won or lost. I mean, mentally, if you let it, psychologically, if you let it, I guess it can affect you one way or the other. There's like a little euphoria for a couple weeks after the Super Bowl. If your team won, and if you're Cleveland and you never win anything, I guess that could. But that's if you let it. So in a sense, do I let the Olympics affect me? But no. But I want my country to do better. I want my country to be awesome. I want people to go out there and kick ass. If it was possible to send 22-year-old college kids to go play basketball and represent the country, and smack around 35-year-old Russian professionals, Jamaican professionals that have been playing basketball longer, and they're bigger and they're stronger, and in some cases faster, depending on the sport, depending on the position. But we both know that when you're like 22, 24, you're not even fully developed. You ain't had enough time to lift weights, pound cheeseburgers, learn all the fucking plays, shoot the three ball. It's just not possible. That's why I laugh at people that tell me that Alabama could beat an NFL football team. They're like, they could beat the worst. I'm like, no, they can't, because the whole Alabama college team isn't getting drafted. Like the NFL generally, not even generally, the NFL, that they are the best professional football players in the country. They're the best football players in the country. And if you were a walk on or you were a college person and you didn't get drafted, despite what you think, you're not that good. Because people get drafted and they're busts, and people walk on and they fucking succeed. That's what happens. Like, there's a reason, even though they lost 16 games, didn't win a single game, they were still playing people way better than you were. So yes, but those dudes are bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. They will destroy you. Um, you want to touch one thing on the Olympics, and then we can sign off. I know you got to go.
Touch what?
I want to hear the Simone Biles situation.
I don't know. Oh, that she dipped out.
Mm-hmm.
What about it?
No, what's your take? Give me your full take on it.
Got to do what you got to do. I mean, I I I personally don't think if I was in that situation, I would have done that. I think I would have kind of tried to suffer through. However, she, on top of, first of all, it's dangerous to do what she was doing if she's compromised.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and on top of that, it was, her ADD medication, uh, Adderall, is banned, and even though she has a waiver to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, use it, it was banned in Japan, so she couldn't take her medication with her. So she's like, coming off of this for several days prior to being able to, prior to competing. Yeah, that's a shitty situation.
Mm. I didn't know about the Adderall thing. I knew that she took Adderall. I didn't know, and she was able to take Adderall and compete because she had a waiver because she was diagnosed with a condition that required it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that she couldn't take it in Japan.
Nope.
Like she couldn't bring it in the border, or she couldn't compete while pissing.
She couldn't bring it to take.
Really?
Yep.
So if you travel to Japan and you have a medical condition that requires a controlled substance,
Yep.
you can't bring it to Japan.
Yep.
Seriously.
It's just like fucking, okay, well, you got a doctor saying take weed for this, that, and the other, and you go over to Japan or somewhere, you're not going to take that either.
Hmm. I I don't know, that's crazy. I guess. I mean, whatever. I guess. I guess something like that, that situation like that, should have been brought up when people were considering where to host the Olympics, because there should be. I don't know, dude. Like any medication, if you're gymnast, maybe you have pain meds that you have to take sometimes. If you have a flare up, maybe you need a cortisone shot or a cortisol shot or whatever. I'm sorry. Maybe there's something you need and you can't have it in that country. And it's like, okay, well, you either make an exemption for Olympians or we're just going to pick another country. I mean, you agree or disagree with that, or you just think it should be everybody suffers across the board? Because there's some athletes that don't have any conditions, right? And they'd be good. They'd be fine, right? But then you have some people that need medication and they can't bring it. It's kind of silly. Mm.
I mean, it is what it is.
I I
You know, going into it.
yeah, I guess you would, or you should know. At a minimum, your coaches should tell you. I didn't know the part about the ADD, but that still doesn't change what I think about it. That's just okay. That sucks. Um, I'm not comparing Simone Biles to like a Carrie Strug, but you remember Carrie Strug was doing the vault
Got a
and
fucking broken leg.
yeah, broken ankle or something to that, like fucking 10, and then our coach just said suck it up and fucking stuck it, fucking got the gold.
In fact, so did that fuck. I see her commercials every single. Okay, Michaela Maroney. She
Mm-hmm.
just was talked about that too. That the asshole rapist coach Larry Nasser.
Mm-hmm.
She had broken her ankle, and he lied to the medic or the trainer or whatever, and said she was fine and made her compete still.
Mm. I mean, at the end of the day, I
But yeah,
think
I mean everybody. Oops, go. Everybody remembers Carrie Strug because they've got that fucking photograph, with her with that cast on or the air cast or whatever.
mm-hmm, having to be carried off, but I at the end of the day, it should be the athlete's choice. Okay, if you don't want to compete, that's fine. If something happened, that's fine. But like, you should honor, dude. Like you said earlier, it is an honor to be picked, to be selected to represent the country. You should want to go out there. You should want to kick ass. And it's terrible, but like the way it was, it just seemed a little bit nonchalant. Like mental health, right? And that's fine. And I don't think people should be out there slaughtering her because of that. But and again, I don't think people should be saying that she's a hero. And something else that in the immediate thing was like, okay, this is what she said, and then more statements came out later. It's To me, the less you say, the better, because it seems more genuine when you just make a concise statement. Like, example, your wedding. I didn't go to your wedding, right? And if you're like, hey man, why can't you come to my wedding? I sent you an invite, and you didn't join the raid, you know. And it's like, dude, I just had a lot of shit going on. Um, and then you're like, yeah, no problem. And then I'm like, well, and then I didn't have a lot of money, and then my mom had something going. It's like, dude, like sometimes when you provide more and more information, your original claim looks less reputable. Like, you just need to sit there and think what you're going to say, whether it's a lie, whether it's the truth, doesn't matter. You just need to put one statement out and state. But like, the more she talked about it, the more it just seemed like a cop out to me. I'm not saying that she's not injured. I'm not saying that she, being off the medication. It's just, it looks bad. It looks bad.
I understand that, and to be perfectly honest, my first reaction on that was similar. Like, I my gut reaction at the time was that this was protecting her brand, and that's what was more important to her. Because she went out there and flubbed things up really bad, how would that look for sponsors and stuff when she came back?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but having been in a situation where you don't get to take your ADD medication, and what it's like coming off of it, no. I absolutely understand where she's coming from, and you know,
And in light of that new information, she should have just not taken the nod. Somebody else should have gone in her place. She should have just, you know what I mean? Like they could have had the alternate bump up to her place and get another alternate because she really didn't have anything else to prove. You know, the only other thing she had to prove was I'm gonna help the USA kick some ass. And like I said, my biggest thing is like, dude, like everybody, she even like wore the leotard in the qualifiers with the goat stitched on it, saying like I'm the goat. And I watched her floor routine. You know, like the woman was like feeling like I was heartless. She felt like I was heartless, like I didn't care about someone's emotions and feelings. And it's like, no, it's not that. It's like if you say that you're the best in the world, you got to go out and fucking, dude, you have to die trying. Not literally, but figuratively, you have to die trying. Like if you want to be a hero, then be a hero. Don't be a LeBron James. Don't go out there and tell everybody you're great and then quit playing defense. Don't tell everybody you're fucking great and then say your teammates didn't fucking show up. Dude, be a Michael Jordan. Go out there, you get your ass kicked, and then you just come back and drop 60 the next fucking night, dude. That's what you do. Don't fucking say something like you got the fucking flu. Go out there and drop 45 and ice the series. You know, fucking dude, shit like that. That's what the greatest of all time do. But I'm not here to judge her. I'm here to judge more so like the culture of celebrating, like quitting in like the world's biggest stage, like her biggest stage. That's her biggest stage. It's not the Super Bowl. It's not the World Series. It's not like you'll be back next year. It only happens every 4 years. So I think she's like 24. Like she's gonna be. She's not. She's probably not gonna be in the next Olympics. She'll be too old. You know, like unless she can like sleep in a cryo chamber for 3 years, right? The 2024 Olympics is in 3 years, so unless she can do that, like her body will degrade. You know, because essentially at about 24 for women, about 25 for men, that's when you reach your max. You know, growing, and then now from there, it's like trying to maintain and keep yourself from deteriorating at an exponential rate. So it's not her quitting. It's like, okay, you want to call yourself the greatest? You have to earn that title. You just don't put on a leotard. You won some Olympic medals and a couple Olympic things. And then people try to throw in the whole, well, she might have been a victim. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I understand that. But that she still won gold. She still competed. And, oh, she had twisties. Okay, she had twisties. But, dude, you know, what her routine, if she went out there, it's just like one excuse. Her routine, if she went out there, she could, it's like, change your routine. You're out there doing triple, double, spinny, twisty, flippy salts. Go to just a double, double, double. Do something you know you can fucking do in your sleep. Just go out there and try. Like, we get it. You're injured. Just fucking do the best you can. Don't quit. And the whole society embracing quitters, that's kind of where we are. We're here with dudes getting participation trophies. You know, we're here with, it's okay. You know, like, I'm not saying, like, fucking it's terrible that you lost, but dude, like you shouldn't be rewarded for stuff like that. Like we should stop coddling people. It puts society in a bad spot, and it sets a different bar of expectations. You know, and then I did share my story with me playing football my senior year. My senior year, I was that guy that got the ball 30 to 40 times a game. I was such an asset to the football team. Like I didn't practice defense. I showed up, I stretched, I did running back drills, and then when we broke to go do like our defensive assignments, I stood there because they didn't want me getting hurt. You know, I stood there watching the cornerbacks and the safeties doing their drills. They wouldn't let me do it. They didn't want me getting hurt. And one game, it was a close game. They put me in the game. I ended up tearing my ACL. I never practiced special teams, so they put me in the game, and I basically tore my ACL on that one play. So I took a week off. The trainer, the doctor to be told me that my ACL was fine, so I took a week off. The subsequent week, they were like, "You're good to go," and it still felt kind of wobbly. But I went out there and I played. And the game I played in was meaningless. It wasn't even a district game. So if we won or we lost, if we lost, we were still undefeated in district. And if we lost, I mean, if we won, we were still undefeated, and if we lost, we were still undefeated in district. Didn't matter. Like it was just basically going for an undefeated season. I played, and I definitely tore my ACL. Like at this point, that like if there was any ACL left, it was gone. And it's so bad when you tear ACL, you walk down the hallway and you just fall over, and you just fall over like without warning. It doesn't hurt because there's no nerves there, but it's just embarrassing and it's awkward. So team ends up getting to the playoffs, and they end up getting spanked in the and there was nothing I could do. But if it was a lesser injury, if it was it was a shin splint, or if it was like a torn, like a ruptured, like if it was something less than not having a ligament for a load bearing, with a load bearing capacity, I would have been out there. I would have been out there with my team losing, because that would like it's just a terrible feeling watching my team get creamed, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I wish I was in Simone Biles's shoes, because I would have went out there. And here's the best part is, if your teammates are worth a shit, if your coach is worth a shit, like, if your parents are worth a shit, you're not 100%, and you go out there and you give it your all, and you leave it out there on the field, you leave it out there. Like, people respect that. They respect that a lot more. At least people that I respect that a lot more. They know you went out there and you did the best you could do, and they know you were hurt. But, like, dropping out, okay, fine. But celebrating the fact that you're supposed to be the greatest and you drop, like, no, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. I think that's a terrible thing to instill in today's youth. Got a headache. I can't pitch. Bro, get good. Here, put some fucking tobacco. Here, drink this fucking Dr. Pepper. Let's get some nicotine or some caffeine. Like, get out there and pitch, bro. Like, we need you. But that's my take, dude. Disagree, agree. Eh.
No, is what it is. I mean, I don't, like I said, I was kind of leaning that direction when I first heard about what's all going on, but knowing what it's like coming off of the ADD medication, and Adderall in particular. That's why I hated Adderall. It made me real. I don't even know how to describe it. Gross. But yeah,
Yeah. So,
I don't hold it against her.
yeah. I mean, to each his own. We can't agree on everything. Um, you want to hit us up with the final word, and then we're on our way?
No, taxation is theft, and LeBron James sucks.
Did you ever like LeBron James? I know you were
Not particularly.
not particularly. Yeah, I used to like him. I used to think he was a good guy. But well, there you heard it. LeBron sucks and taxation is theft. Thank you everybody for tuning in. If you could go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe. Definitely comment. Definitely comment about how this guy needs to hurry up and get better so we can see his face. I really miss that yellow flag behind you. I do.
Yeah, I'll be back eventually someday.
And at least take a better picture. Like, fucking take a better picture. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Maybe we'll have a guest. Maybe we won't. Who knows? It's up to our guest. And with that being said, I'm Jake.
Drake.
And it's Jake and Drake Show. See you guys next week.